All right, some of you who saw my more recent unboxing videos might have spotted these two very impressive looking books. So it's a double tome really, David Allen Hulse's The Key of It All. So book 1 and book 2, and this is the Eastern Mysteries and the Western Mysteries. I think my expectations of what this would be was maybe a little different from what this in fact is. I think what this is in fact is possibly of higher value than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be simply a maybe a more complete version of Dr. Skinner's complete magical tables. And while this is in fact packed with magical tables, they're not really of the same variety. They're not really covering the same areas of interest. Dr. Skinner's book is more on Solomonic magic. This is on modern Western ceremonial magic, and I know this one says the Eastern Mysteries, but in fact it's the kind of area of Eastern Mysteries with which we might be concerned in the West. So the average Western ceremonial magician would probably be interested in most of what's in here. Let me just show you how these two books are actually put together. So this one covers cuneiform Hebrew, Arabic, Sanskrit, Tibetan and Chinese. And this one covers Greek, Coptic, runes, Latin, Enochian, Tarot and English. So the idea is that the author, David Allen Hulse, whom I didn't know prior to this, trying to get this, and my magical knowledge feels all the richer for having discovered him, to be honest. He found this Enochian magic square, and he worked out that the capital letters that appear here are all the starting letters of various Enochian angels, which govern certain areas of the world. Mathula, whose name is derived like this, so you read diagonally, so Mathula. So Matula covers Babylon, so that would be cuneiform, and then you've got Toantom, which would be Phoenicia, so Hebrew, and so on and so forth. And he's just taken all of these nations and gone into their languages and worked out how those languages are esoterically informed and the kind of magical traditions that have formed around them. It's so interesting, but as you can see, it's very far from being a book of tables, of demons from China and what their attributes might be or anything like that. It really is this Western ceremonial magician's handbook to the various traditions that inform Western ceremonial magic. And so you have the Eastern traditions that do that, and then the Western traditions that do that. In terms of the edition itself, where they're paperbacks, and as such, I do expect the spines to give in quite soon. You know, when you open them in the middle, then it doesn't bend very much. However, when you open it closer to the start, if you let go of that, it just closes automatically, right? That could be a down point, I suppose. However, it's a very well built paperback. I don't feel like it's fragile in any way. In terms of the accessibility of the text, it's beautifully written, absolutely beautifully written, and written in a kind of prosaic way that's very appealing, very engaging. The author makes no use of long-winded sentences with nominalizations for days and passive forms and so on and so forth. No, it's all very engaging, and it reads just like you'd read any kind of book, and then occasionally you have a table. If you were to use it in the same way as you might use Dr. Stephen Skinner's magician's tables, I suppose it could work, but to be honest with you, his index is just as confusing as Dr. Skinner's, for the same reasons. He's decided to put his index in. Sorry, I'm just going through the bibliography right now. He's decided to put his rather short index in categories. So you have languages, you see, over here, all in alphabetical order, and then you have magic, right, all in alphabetical order. So whatever you're looking for, you have to think to yourself, okay, under what category did the author decide to put this one word that I'm looking for? And yeah, I don't think this index is anywhere near long enough, to be honest. It's not anywhere near as comprehensive as it would need to be in order to be useful. Right? If you're looking for, let's say, I don't know, the Enochian angels, you'd have to work out if that's under biblical, unlikely, right? Is it under the category of languages? Well, I suppose Enochian is a language, so yes, you have Enochian over here, but is it going to actually cover the angels over here, or is it going to cover the Enochian angelic language? You see what I mean? So it's yeah, it's the index is far from ideal. It seems to be a recurring problem with these reference books. The thing is, my contention is that this is not a reference book, but rather an introduction, more than an introduction, a full course in the Western magical tradition, the modern Western magical tradition, as informed by the Golden Dawn and Thelema. In fact, if you have a look at the people that he dedicates this volume to, you can see the 7 pillars of modern Western occultism: the 2 Russian mystics, Blavatsky and Gurdjieff, the 2 gentlemen of the Golden Dawn, Mathers and Westcott, the 2 tarotologists, Waite and Case, and the 1 magician who stood alone, Crowley. So these are very much the author's influences, you could say. I was very interested. You know, some of you might have been following my adventures with the LBRP and the various attributions of fire, air, and water, and so on. There's this very interesting little paragraph here, you could say section over here, talking about the 3 basic elements. And he goes into, the Golden Dawn version, which he calls the esoteric order, and then goes into the Zoharic elements, and gives the elements as they are given in the Zohar, and then gives the Renaissance alchemical elements. And it seems that this is the version that I seem to have, let's say, naturally concluded, right? So exactly the way I had placed them, Raphael with fire rather than with air, and then the second element down from fire would be air rather than water, as it is with the Golden Dawn, right? Fire, water, air, earth. And here the Renaissance alchemical elements give fire, air, water, earth. Right. So indeed, so so instead of having yod he vav he being the second he being with water, it's actually he being air. So I was very interested to read that. So, but it also gave me an idea into how much depth this all goes into. You know, so this isn't information that I've been able to find easily anywhere. To be honest with you, it's It's just very, very complete. And then, just give you a quick flick through over here, just to get you salivating here. It's extraordinary. The amount of information that is actually in here. So there's a whole huge section on the tarot, so he thinks of the tarot as its own kind of language, which is very interesting, because all of these headers are their own language and civilization. So Enochian, in fact, being its own language, and tarot being its own language. But then prior to that you have, so Latin, runes. He says that most of this information that he put in here was really before the recent researches into runes, but nevertheless it's very interesting. It's Coptic Egyptian, Greek. He says he put Coptic in here because Coptic is to Greek what Arabic is to Hebrew. That's why he put Coptic in the Western mysteries rather than in the Eastern mysteries. But it's all. I don't think you could get away with just getting the Western mysteries. It is a complete two-tome book. I think the reason it's in 2 tomes is because if it were a single tome, it would just break. It's just too much information. How many pages do we have here? Probably about 500 by the time we get to the end here. 600. So 600. They're more or less exactly the same size. 600 pages each. And you go over the page of contents for you. There we go. Tables of contents. I'll let you freeze frame if you wish to get an idea of what is contained here. There we are. List of tables, which could be of interest to many of you. I'm just flying over these and trying to keep my camera as straight as possible so that you can get a clear picture to freeze frame on. You can see plenty of tables, lots and lots of tables. There we go. The magical figures, and then you get started. There we are. So that's for the Eastern mysteries. Now let me show you the Western mysteries table of contents. Yes, I think this is going to go on to the pile of my books, which is least likely to leave me. It's a very, very good resource. I think I could probably recommend this to anyone starting off in magic. Could easily be a starting point. It's very clearly written, very easy to understand for anyone, to be honest. almost there. And then the magical figures. There we are. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so already, and see you very soon with another video. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.